Right, let's get started now. Two policemen who shot and killed a civilian at Kaswa during a scuffle will be put before court this morning. The two who went drinking at a popular drinking spot in Kaswa shot and killed a 21-year-old man in the heat of this confrontation. The police arrested and detained the two, who are Corporal Isifu Tahiru and Corporal Samuel Boama. They've retrieved a loaded gun with 13 rounds of ammunition from them. Now, correspondent Richard Kwejo joins me now with some details. Kwejo, what can you tell us by way of update regarding the appearance in court of these two interdicted officers?
Well, so the two policemen, Corporal Samuel Boama and Lance Corporal Tahiru, have now been put before the magistrate court here at Kaswa. So the proceedings are currently ongoing. Meanwhile, the IGP has interdicted the two of them. They were interdicted on Saturday. The police say they are still investigating the matter. And so, as we speak, the policemen are before the court right now.
Right. Now, what are we hearing about the case that's been built against them? This incident happened in front of several witnesses. Is there some connection to the chieftaincy event that was occurring that day? What do we know?
So this is a separate event from the chieftaincy. The chieftaincy happened in Mankesim, and this one happened at Kaswa. These two policemen, Samuel Boama and then Tahiru, went to a drinking pub. They were in Mufti. They went drinking and a scuffle ensued. And so in the process, Lance Corporal Tahiru pulled the sidearm that was with him and then threatened to shoot. Then Corporal Boama pulled the gun from him and then shot the 21-year-old man. And then the police came to effect the arrest. So they were detained over the weekend and now have been put before the court.
Any details about what this scuffle was regarding?
Well, we cannot really tell. The police have not been able to give us the full details of what might have started this whole scuffle. But because they were drinking, they suspect that it might be a fight over a drink or something someone might have uttered that led to the scuffle.
Now, since these officers were armed, are we to assume that they were on duty and drinking?
The police have not been able to confirm. So since they were in Mufti, some of the policemen I interacted with said that they shouldn't have been with a gun. But since they went into a drinking pub and still were wielding their gun, they were not on duty. And so that's an opinion that was expressed by some of the policemen I have been interacting with.
All right. Well, Kwejo, we hope you stay on top of this one and keep us updated as it unfolds. Thank you very much. Richard Kwejo is our Central Regional correspondent. Now, leadership of three teacher unions, Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, CCT, are on strike across the country. The directive to members of the three associations is toward getting resolution of issues relating to salary arrears. The statement issued and signed by the union said, and I quote, "It is with profound justification due to the inertia of MOE and GES, National Labour Commission and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, that we advanced our interest to proceed with the strike action on the 9th of December 2019 until all salary arrears, legacy, are settled." Let's listen to representatives of NAT and CCT who spoke earlier on the AM show.
We cannot answer yes to this. You have 30,000, and we said that the numbers they have problems with, isolate those numbers.
So verify them.
So that's your position.
Yes.
So that's what they said.
If you claim you have problems with some number, verify them.
We have said that out of the 30,000 plus teachers, those names that have challenge or the GS has challenges with, they should isolate those names, and the remaining 29,000 plus should be paid. We have also indicated here that come what may, this thing we need to sit together and discuss and get it solved. Number two, we want to it must be put on record that the teacher unions took their own independent decision together with their leadership, and that is how come we are here at this particular time, and that we have not done this thing in consultation with anybody except the leadership and our membership, and that we want to believe that we have the mandate of our people and they are behind us to get this thing done.
There's no need of chastising the previous regime. We are dealing with government. And then again, if you have 120,000, and all these while over 80,000 have been paid, and it is left with 30,000, and all of a sudden, we have to verify the 30,000 again. It means there's a problem, because it is an indictment on GES themselves, Ministry of Finance, Audit Service, and Controller and Accountant General.
Meanwhile, in an interview with the Daily Graphic, the Ghana Education Service says it will not be stampeded into paying illegal money to teachers under the guise of legacy arrears. According to the service, it has saved the government 11.3 million Ghana cedis after detecting some anomalies in the payments of the arrears, and that there was the need to do more to verify the genuineness of the payments before the affected teachers were paid. The Director General of the GES, Professor Kwesi Upokwa-Mankwa, in an interview with the Daily Graphic, said it was unfortunate that with all the effort being made by the government, having paid 95% of the affected staff, the teachers still insisted on embarking on this strike. To prove their case, Professor Upokwa-Mankwa said the GES would publish the list of its staff who benefited from the legacy arrears payments. Now, schools in Wale Wale are empty, while others are under lock and key as teachers begin the indefinite strike action today. The township is scattered, with school children wandering about as their parents look on confused. Parents seem totally unaware of the strike action by the teachers, and teachers have refused to show up in classrooms this morning. Only head teachers reported to send children back home. The headmaster of Watania English and Arabic School, Alhaji Musa Seidu Sanda, spoke with Joy News about it.
Because they are not aware, that's why I'm also here, because I have, as a head teacher, let the children to be aware of what is going on, so that they will also know how to conduct themselves. I wouldn't have liked to say the children should go home, but looking at things, I'm compelled to say it, to tell them to go home, because if they are left alone, they can't. Children, they may hurt themselves in one way or the other, which is not also a good thing. So I'm here to tell the children what is happening as a head teacher, and that they can't lose, or they can't also go home. Yeah. Thank you. No, for coming is indefinite, because not until we also hear from our leaders who have no pay to give them. Yes, as to when to come back. Yes. I mean, you are the head man. Actually, sometimes to some it's not a good thing anyway, but one is a collective decision. You as a single person cannot do otherwise than to also go with the group.
In some schools, however, headmasters have put in measures to lessen or control the impact of the strike action. At the EA Junior High School 2, the headmaster has arranged for national service personnel to take temporary control. That notwithstanding, some of the service personnel are also threatening to boycott classes soon.
Yes, I'm not here. We are also won't take part of the children. We will also go to the house, because they didn't inform us unless we came here before hear the all this. No, I won't report to school. Yes, because our seniors are not here. They are going to take part first before us. They are our seniors. And so tomorrow I will come to school.
The Ghana Education Service have declined to comment on that development. Now, let's connect with Ilyasu Tanko, who's in Wale Wale, to learn a bit more about the situation where young students and pupils are wondering about, with parents unaware of the strike. Ilyasu, tell us, how are parents justifying their lack of knowledge of this national strike?
Well, this is part of the country where information is very slow, or information gathering is very slow. Communication actually is very slow here. And so it is not surprised that a large number of parents here are not aware of the strike action. Most of them actually drop their kids to school today only to find them coming back to their house. And so because of the slow pace at which information is disseminated around this area, that is why a lot more parents are not aware of this action by the teachers.
Right. So at the moment, is there any action being taken by authorities to control the children who are walking around in town instead of going home?
Some of the headmasters that I spoke to told me that is the main reason why they have decided to report to school. Their work is to report and make sure that they are able to control the school children while they are the school playing. And so some of the headmasters are already here trying to control the children here. Many schools, too, as they speak, have been totally closed. The children have been sent home.
Mm. Any idea how many schools in Wale Wale are affected by this strike?
Entirely all the public schools here, except a few schools in the place that you played, that is Manhyia, EAGSS. It's only the school that I visited. I saw the headmasters are putting that measure to, arranging with the national service personnel to keep them in the school to lessen or control the impact, especially on the junior high school students. Aside that, all the schools here, I can tell you, have been closed and the students have been sent back home.
Elias Otanko is our Northeastern Regional Correspondent. Thank you very much for that update. There'll be more from that region. Now, Joy News' Ifwa Evans Chinnery has been to some schools in Accra to monitor the situation. She joins me now with the latest. Ifwa, if you can hear me, what's the situation out there?
Hi, Kojo. Students in all 4 schools I've visited so far only want one thing done for them, which is for government to fix the problem to get the teachers back to the classroom. Now, these students are in senior high schools and wonder how they can write the examinations, which is just a few days away, without the help of the teachers. Now, while some of them were seen loitering on the compounds of the school, some were also seen chit-chatting and studying in groups. So teachers are indeed on strike, but some few devoted ones were still seen teaching in some of the classrooms. One of the schools I visited had actually deployed some staff of the school to the various classrooms to ensure students stay in their classroom. Kojo.
Now, for many students, exams are due. What do they say about what effect this strike is having on their preparation and preparedness for end-of-term exams?
Well, so the students I spoke with say that they are afraid or they're scared that this might affect them because the teachers are not available to teach them what they do not understand as they prepare for the examination. So, I mean, they are anxious that what's going to happen. They are only hopeful that the teachers will return very soon to help them study.
Now, as you've been traveling between these schools, have you seen any children loitering around off the campuses of their schools?
One of the schools that I visited, the first school that I visited, the Accra New Town School, yes, I did see some of the children loitering, but they are deploying some of the teachers to the main entrances of the school to ensure that the students do not get out of the school.
Mm. Well, thank you very much for that, Ifwa. And of course, Ifwa Evans Chinnery continues to make the rounds of the schools in Accra, so we'll be bringing you even more in subsequent bulletins. Now, I also have Nana Yaujima, who is monitoring the teachers' strike and the impact of the academic work, or on academic work in Kumasi. Nana Yau, what have you gathered so far? The teachers in school?
So the first school I went to was the Oshimase Anglican Basic School, and at Oshimase, students are in class. They are being watched over by national service personnel and teachers from the various training colleges who are on teaching practice, I should say. And even though there are some of the teachers, the trained teachers around, they are not doing their job as they are supposed to. According to them, they came to check out if the strike will be effective and since they haven't had any communication from their leadership, therefore they will have to stay outside the classroom and wait for a communication that goes contrary to what they've heard earlier before they can go into the classrooms. But I should say the national service personnel and teachers who are on training on teaching practice have done so well to keep all the students in class. And the head teacher for Shumase MA Basic School is at post, and according to him, it's his job to keep the classrooms open if students or pupils come to school, and therefore that is exactly what he is doing. But it's unusual. I found one teacher who is still at post, and according to him, he doesn't belong to any of the teacher unions, so therefore he had to come to class and perform the duties he has been assigned. So he is a teacher in the school, and he's going about his normal duty. When there's time for his lessons, he goes to the classroom and takes the lesson, and after that he comes back to other duties that he's supposed to perform as a teacher. And moving from Oshimasi to other schools, for instance, the Asafo AME Zion Basic School is closed down. And from what I'm hearing, the students who are in school early this morning, and they were told to go back because teachers are on strike. And later the teachers locked up the doors and forced the students to go home. So I find other students roaming about in Kumasi, and when you go closer to speak to them, they tell you that their teachers are on strike. And the teachers say they should go home, listen to the radio or watch the television, and when they hear a communication that teachers are coming back to school, they join them and for effective teaching and learning to resume.
Right, Nanayal, thank you very much for that update. No doubt there'll be more from the Ashanti region, so stay tuned to subsequent bulletins. Now, at least 3 people have lost their lives in their bid to cross a dam constructed under the One Village, One Dam project at Tatindo in the Tatale Sanguli district of the northern region. Now, this is according to residents who are blaming the situation on the weakness of the dam to hold water during the dry season for their gardening. The residents say anytime it rains, the dam overflows its banks and floods a bridge, which enables them crossover to the other side. Now, they're worried about the recurring deaths and are thus calling on authorities to take a second look at the dam. Northern Regional Correspondent Martina Bugri has more.
It was built to offer the people of Tatindo the opportunity to farm during the dry season. This meant that people could be employed all year round to check rural-urban migration during the dry season, as well as improve upon the income of the people. But the residents have described the work done as shoddy.
Those who have come to construct this, our dam, the dam actually will never help us because the water is running away. And the main purpose for them digging was for dry season farming. And it wouldn't help us because the water is running away. The bridge is not there for people to cross. We are appealing to the contractor who have constructed this to come and make the bridge for us so that it will save people's life and we also be happy. And we forced them, they came and did this, and it didn't help us. So we, the local people, we came and did this for ourselves. When the dam wasn't there at all, when we were crossing, it was helping us more than what they did for now.
Kibika Nimok said the water used to stay longer whilst in the past, but with what they have done under the 1V, 1D, the water would not last.
I think it was dark just for inhabitants of this community to at least reduce poverty through farming in the dry season. But it has tended to be the opposite because it has been poorly constructed. And in fact, much particularly is about the depth and other things. In fact, the road they've constructed so that we can pass through the dam is very poor. It is, in fact, a shoddy work. They've done nothing, and they need to sit up on that. They have to come and do something about it because when it was there formerly, at least we used to get some water, but what they have done has made the water flow away. No water is staying anymore in the dam. So we are beseeching them to come to our aid. In fact, the dam has tended to become a place of danger.
Nyamanum Kweku, who spoke in Konkomba, said the dam will not help them. He said it's a threat to the lives of the people.
That will not help us. Just this rainy season, many people died. 3 people that lost their lives. Old ladies, even strong men, they can't walk. When they come here, the water is threatening their lives.
The chief of Sanguli, Obor, John Gabuja Kumayi, said the road through which the dam was constructed is the main road linking the community to Zabzugo, and so they are unable to cross. He said foodstuffs are locked up on the other side of the river because no vehicle can move to bring the farm produce.
They contracted the dam which is linking to Zabzugo. It's our main road here linking to Zabzugo, Tatundo to Yachudo to Zabzugo. That is where we normally pass the shortcut to Zabzugo. And the way the dam is contracted, when they were to start, they told us a bridge is going to be constructed after the construction of the dam. After the construction of the dam, the contractor told us that the bridge is not part of his work. And that is our main reason. Some of our farms are over the river. We can't carry our foodstuff. As at now, a lot of people foodstuff cannot be carried through to the market because no vehicle, no motorbike can cross there because of the water.
A police inspector with the Mankasim Divisional Police Command is still battling for his life at the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital after a violent clash that led to the death of 2 persons, including the Mfantsiman BNI officer. The violence was sparked by the installation of a Queen Mother for Mankasim after a High Court ruling. Now, some gun-wielding persons opened fire on the participants of the procession when the newly installed Queen Mother was being paraded through the principal streets of Mankasim. Richard Kwajunyako has more in this report.
Sounds of drums, cheers, and wild jubilations greeted Honorable Otua II, who is now said to be installed as the new Queen Mother of Mankasim. Those behind this installation say the 84-year-old comes in to replace Nana Ama Emisa, who has been the Queen Mother of Mankasim for close to 25 years, after a high court in Cape Coast ordered the names of the Omahin of the Mankasim traditional area and his Queen Mother to be expunged from the register of the National House of Chiefs. While the newly installed Queen Mother was being carried in a palanquin and paraded through the principal street of Mankasim, some gunmen who hid in a story building by the road opened fire on those taking part in the procession. The lives of the Mfantsiman Municipal BNI Director, Samuel Ampofo, together with a 27-year-old man who is yet to be identified, were snuffed out. 8 persons who were hit with the pellets of the gun were immediately rushed to the Mercy Hospital at Mankasim.
Right, and you see,
it was an instrument of a Queen Mother. On our way, we were shot at. One of the pellets hit my arm. Those that were with me were the BNI officer and a policeman. Unfortunately, the BNI man died.
But come here, 1 BNI and 1 CID inspector.
So we are here at the Mercy Hospital here at Mankasim to be updated on what has been happening to the casualties in the clash that happened at Mankasim over the instrument of a Queen Mother.
When they came in, one was working dead, which we got in the medical term, they say EID. Then there was one BNI officer who came in that lasted barely an hour. He passed away. He actually had bullets going through the head, the forehead, some going through the rib cage, and the rest on the chest. So we lost it. But the police officer, by God's grace, was able to stabilize. Then he had bullets going to the mandibular area, which needed to be removed. So after the stabilization, we sent him to the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital for the general surgeons to get it out. The rest currently stable. We've been able to discharge 4, and currently, as I speak, we have 2 on the road. One little boy who schools at the Manhyia Technical Secondary School, and one elderly man. Both of them are doing currently as we speak.
The police went in search of the alleged perpetrators of the act and arrested 5 of them who are currently assisting the police in their investigations. 4 live AA cartridges and 2 machetes were retrieved from the story building where the shooting took place. The Central Regional Police Command say they are on a hunt for all the people behind the violence. From Manhyia, my name is Richard Kwejonya for Joy News.
Welcome back. Now, the Appointments Committee of Parliament has begun vetting 3 female appeals court judges who have been promoted to the Supreme Court by President Adudankwe Akufo-Addo. Justice Mariama Owusu, Justice Gertrude Tokonu, and Justice Avril Lovelace Johnson will replace Chief Justice Sophia Akufo, Justice Vida Akuto-Bamfo, and Justice Sophia Adinyira, who are due for retirement by close of this year. Out of the 3, the committee will be meeting Justice Mariama Owusu and Justice Avril Lovelace Johnson today, before vetting Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokonu on Tuesday, December 10, 2019. Why don't we go live to the vetting committee where my colleague, Kwesi Parker-Wilson, is standing by. Kwesi, tell us, what have we learned about the 2 nominees being vetted today?
Okay, so Kojo, I'm sure you're aware that the president, some weeks gone by, nominated 3 justices from the appeals court to the Supreme Court, and as we speak, the first nominee is currently before the appointment committee in the person of Justice Mariama Owusu. Now, Kojo, she's been speaking about a number of issues, and one of the key things that she talked about was the appointment of the Supreme Court judges by the political authority. And you know that the president has the powers to appoint judges to the apex court. The member of parliament for Tamale South, Alhassan Swingini, raised the concerns about the independence of the judiciary, and especially the court, where the president has to appoint these individuals, and when they are at the apex court, they do the bidding of the political leaders or the president who appointed them. Now, she dismissed that perception and said that this has been going on for quite some time now. And in fact, she quoted from the Constitutional Review Committee's report, where it stated that this process has helped the country and so it has to be maintained. So she subscribed to that position and indicated that with or without the appointment of the judges to the apex court, the judiciary is still independent and that they are not under the control of the political leaders, whether the president appoints them or not. So for her, she's going to champion and advocate that the process continues, because at the end of the day, the judges are still independent. Then and again, she talked about the perception that the judiciary is corrupt, and you know, and this is on the back of the Afrobarometer survey, which the CDD released some days gone by. And she said that because there seems to be some aura around the court, the processes are quite, they are not shrouded in secrecy anyway, but people think that when you go to the court, there's this kind of fear that you go to the court and whether you have a case or you don't have a case, you can be sentenced and all that. So she is calling for a more transparent dealings with the public as far as the judiciary is concerned, so that at least they'll get to know what they do on a daily basis. They shouldn't hide the things from the public. Then the public will have a better appreciation of the court system. Then it will be one of the measures to cure the perception that the judiciary is corrupt.
Right. Well, thank you for that. I'm sure you'll keep your ear to the ground as they continue to vet the 2nd and 3rd nominees. That's Kwesi Parker-Wilson reporting from Parliament. Now, have you ever thought of keeping fit in a fun way? How about a 3-kilometer race at night in what looks like a jungle with obstacles? That's exactly what a group of adventurers got when they joined the Ascent obstacle course, which is a race at Teshi Military Academy and Training School over the weekend. Here's a report by Philip Ankra.
The Ascent obstacle race requires participants to overcome various physical obstacles by climbing, crawling, running, balancing and more, testing their speed, endurance, strength and dexterity in a fun, light-hearted way. Using head torches, participants navigated the routes and completed the obstacles guided by some military personnel at the Military Academy and Training School MATS in Teshi. These runners could not hide their joy after finishing the race.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Challenging as well. It's all about the mind and the body. So you need to keep it right. You need to keep your body in top shape. I mean, it's fun to be out here working, you know, trying to take yourself to the next level and see what it comes. I didn't place first, but I'm proud of myself. I made it. I made it. Competing in the next event? Oh yeah, why not? This is my first, so definitely.
It was stressful. That was interesting.
Are you looking forward to participating in the next event?
Yes, actually I was here last year and I'm here this year again, so hopefully I'll be here next year.
Organizers say the event, which is in its 7th edition, though challenging, presents contenders with a more robust way of exercising.
So we wanted to create something that was going to be important for people to understand health and wellness. It's going to be fun. There's a new movement of doing obstacle course racing, and we wanted to be the first to do it in Ghana. So this is our second night race. That's 7th time we're organizing a race. You know, it's something that people have been calling for. The numbers have doubled already, so we're very excited about this. Well, there's a lot of safety involved. We work with the military, so at the end of the day, they actually do help us. The danger factor is not something that is really big. It's more about the challenge of getting past the obstacle. So I would say in the 7 events that we've had, the most someone has done is a sprained ankle. And in 7 events and over thousands of people, maybe about 3 of them. So it's quite good.
Winners of both categories of a race share the experiences with Joy News.
So what motivated you to join this race?
Actually, I trained for it. So I was preparing. The other one, I came 5th. So it was mine. It's like I was determined for it. And through that, my coaches also helped me a lot. It's through them, that is why I make it.
How do you feel coming first? How was the obstacles?
It was very, very, very enjoyable. And the moment there is training, it's very easy. Hard training, easy battle.
So how long have you been training for this?
It's about 2 months ago.
What about you? How do you see this?
Oh, it's a very, very good way to experience such energetic, exercise that we've gone through. And this is my first time of participating, and I see it to be mostly a fun way of participating in this game. So I encourage those who are out there to one day participate if Ascent is organizing such thing.
Are you looking forward to go for the next one?
Yes, exactly. If God permits and I'm still alive by that time and I'm still where I am now, I'll be able to participate.
And you're hoping to be first again?
Yes, sure. I'll be first. So.
I want to say congratulations to both of you and enjoy your prizes.
Next event comes off in June 2020 from the Teshi Military Academy. For Joy News, this is Philip Ankra's report.
Right, now, coming up in business, Tullow Oil Group CEO Paul McDade steps down. Darryl Kwao will have details after this.